Hi, everyone. We're back together again.
I'm so excited.
I know. I know. I feel like, man, it's been a couple weeks since we've done this together.
I know, and I feel like that speaks to the fact that we've had so much going on.
So much. We're making it all work, and sometimes that means, one shows up and then the other one shows up, and now we
Yep.
get to be here together.
Yes.
Yes.
And you're in a new place.
I am in a new place,
How does
back in
it
good old
feel?
Washington.
How does it feel?
It feels really good. I mean, the weather has been phenomenal, so I'm just like, yes, it can
Mhm.
be like this all summer. That would be lovely.
Is
But
it
it's great.
normally that sunny?
No,
I
no,
mean,
not
it's
before
like,
July 4th.
okay.
Yeah,
Okay, so it's just coming early.
it is. It's
The
like
sunshine.
this week is like ideal.
It's because you're there, Jess.
Oh, I'll take it. I'll
Bring
take
in the
it.
sunshine.
All you Western Washington folks, you're welcome. I'm just bringing the sun.
Yeah, we have
Yeah.
smoke over here in Pennsylvania from
Have you had it for a while?
a couple days. I thought
Yeah.
it was just fog, and then Nick's like, because we don't watch the news. We're
Sure,
not. I
sure.
mean, we keep up, but we're not day in day out news
Yeah.
people at all.
Yeah.
Um, but he actually heard it from someone or something, and I was like, oh, that's not fog. I'm inhaling smoke. Whoops.
Oh, what's the air quality?
But I'm good.
Good, good, good. Hopefully
Yeah.
that doesn't
So
last too long for you guys.
yeah, but it's been sunny and nice other than a little
Sure.
hazy, but yeah, it's been beautiful here too. So we are receiving all the sunshine in this
Yes.
time of change that we are going to be talking
Yes.
about a little bit today.
Oh yeah. We have a lot of bit of change happening in our worlds.
Yeah, and it's funny, we were thinking about what we wanted to talk about for
Yep.
this episode, what, subject we wanted to dive into. And we're always really honoring where we're at on this podcast,
Yes,
which is why it's so fun for
it
us
is.
individually and hopefully for you listening. But we were riffing on some topics, some
Oh,
ideas, and
we
we're like,
were.
you know what? Like, let's just use this conversation as an invitation, not just for ourselves, but for everyone listening to embody that mother archetype. I feel like
Yeah.
this is a season, a time of change where if you're a mother, kids are getting out of school,
Yep.
even if you're in, not a mother, you're in the workplace. I feel
Yep.
like when that sunshine starts hitting, that summer season comes, things get more stimulated, you get busier possibly, or you could
Yeah.
be slowing down in business if you have your own business. So
Sure.
there's just a shift happening
Oh yeah.
for sure. And me and
Yes.
Jess are feeling it.
Yes.
And really the thing we can offer is that embodiment of the mother to ourselves and for you guys. So we're going to kind of dive into that.
Yes. I personally am like just looking forward to this for my own self as well. But I would
Yeah.
say like every girlfriend I've talked to, even in the last month, I just feel like there's this really core theme of change, transition, and not like in a bad way, but like
Mhm.
this next chapter happening just seems to like really be strong for at least my community and people I'm talking to.
Yeah, for sure. I feel it's, you said chapter. I know Alex and Rachel and I talked about
Yeah.
this in the last episode too, this identity shift. Like I know
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
they were
Yeah.
going, Alex is going through some, this last 6 months, she's had this identity shift. And now I'm like
Yeah.
feeling mine in full effect. It's like the Taylor Swift song, like she's dead. What is that
I have
line?
no idea.
Yeah.
Don't ask
Taylor,
me.
do you not listen to Taylor Swift?
I have nothing against her. I just am not like a huge music person.
Oh,
I know. Oh, did you hear that judgment? Oh,
I mean, like, is she music or is she a freaking energy being an
she is.
artist that like
Yes.
inspires
Yes.
everything?
I enjoy when she comes on, but I
Well,
don't listen to a ton of music.
the line came to me and it's from her, I think, Reputation album. And it's like, old Taylor can't come to the phone right now. Why? Because she's dead.
Oh, I do know the song you're talking about.
Yes.
I do know.
That's like how I feel internally. I'm like, where's old Jenna? Like
Sure.
there, like that chapter has
Yep.
closed.
Yep. No
And
longer in the building.
yeah, and I've brought qualities and things into this new chapter, but it's very
Yeah.
like, oh, where are we going? Where does
Yeah.
this storyline go?
Right. Right. Oh, the unknown is still there.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
So,
Yes.
and it's interesting the timing of this. We have Cancer season on the horizon.
Yep.
I think it'll be like a week out once this goes live. So I think we're also going to be shifting from this like Gemini stimulation,
Mm-hmm.
chatty, vibey energy into kind
Mm-hmm.
of this like nurturing, caring, motherly, emotional frequency.
Yeah.
And that can kind of be a little trippy
Oh, sure.
going from those two frequencies. That's how I feel
Yes.
right now in life. I'm like ping ponging.
Right. Like, oh, I'm here. Now I'm here. Oh, this came up. Okay.
Yeah. So when I say like the mother archetype, what comes to mind for you?
Mm. Nourishing,
Mm-hmm.
warm, cozy.
Aw, warm.
Yeah. Yeah, it is. It's just like this, like kind of golden energy.
And then when you think about all of this change that is happening in life right now, how do you feel? What's that frequency?
I mean, it's definitely more chaotic,
Mm-hmm.
not grounded. It's more like color wise, like multiple colors.
The
Like, right?
rainbow. The
Yeah, it's
damn
just like
rainbow. Yeah.
all floating around.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like with change, there's like the high and low frequency. And as
Mhm.
I've been navigating, I mean, I guess we can talk about what we're navigating a little bit too,
Absolutely,
just so
sure.
that there's some context for why we're feeling,
This
we're just like
elusive change.
chaotic rainbows. Cancer season. So like what we're
Oh,
going through right now.
that's so good.
Um, I have, I think there's like two core things that have, well, three core things that have been kind of added to my life and something that's sort of been let go when it comes to like identity, day to day, work, all the things.
Right.
I am still coaching and open to private clients, but it's something that I've decided to like release attachment to in the last, and this is like things I've been like hinting at over like probably
Sure.
previous episodes.
Yeah.
I've been kind of releasing the grip on like being an entrepreneur and an entrepreneur only and being only a business owner. And I've really opened up this portal to see what else the universe wants me to do in this world.
Sure.
So, I mean, I've been dedicating 3 years to my business and
Yeah.
like being very freaking like in it, like
Yes.
attached, very toxic attached, I think, to this idea of being a business owner and a coach. And so
Mm.
I've,
Mm.
since January, really been just like letting go, letting go, letting go. And so from that, now I am on some new creative adventures. I'm
Yeah.
working with you
Yeah.
in a new business that I know we're not
Yes.
going to dive into the details right now, but we're
Sure.
doing a lot of creative work together for other businesses, a lot of
Yeah.
brand work. So that's
Yeah.
exciting.
Yes.
As well as I've been painting for fun and now it's turning into like, I mean, it's still painting for fun. Like, let's be real. I'm doing it for myself, but people are
Right.
wanting to get in on the painting and like possibly
Yes.
purchase these paintings. So there's been a lot of like creative stimulation and a
Yeah.
lot of just like, I feel like just like letting go and like running wild. That's like how I feel right now.
Ooh, you're a
Like,
wild horse.
I don't want to be a horse.
Oh no, that's what I
I
get,
don't
just
know.
like roaming around.
I want to be a cheetah.
Ooh, okay. I like that.
I went from like I don't know, whatever entrepreneur an animal is, like just very like old as much as I thought I was new
Ooh.
paradigm, like
Oh,
I was like gripping, controlling, needing
yes.
to know everything, needing
Yes.
wanting to produce the next thing and now I'm just like a cheetah running wild, embracing whatever comes my way.
I love that.
But as we have said, that can
That's a
be
big shift.
fast and exciting and colorful and chaotic and cool and abundant, but it's also like I need to like curl up at the end of the night and take care of myself.
Right. Some mothering energy
Yes.
sounds useful.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
tell everyone like the change that you're going through and what that feels like, maybe both like
sure.
tangibly, like on the material plane and emotionally.
And as an animal. Um, yeah. So, okay.
You're the
So
horse
yeah, I'll take it.
running side by side through the field, you and
We
me.
can do it. We can do it. Oh my gosh, that's so yeah, I'm okay with that. Okay, so moving, that definitely,
Yeah. Huge.
big transition there.
Huge.
And like that came, it's come at a time. it's just the catalyst for a lot of other change that both David and I have been wanting. So it's now this like timing of like, oh, okay, now these other things are going to come into place because we've started this
Yeah, I mean, you're
momentum.
engaged, like a
Yep.
wedding is on the
Yes.
horizon. Now that you're back
Weddings.
home, I feel like
Yep.
that's going to be moving and grooving.
It is. I'm very excited for that. Um, we're going to start to try to have a kiddo here in really not that long.
NBD.
Let's
Just
see if
kind
I'll
of
be
drop that
pregnant
like
while I
might
get
produce
married.
life.
Ooh,
Might produce life. That's just a subtle
might
change. No,
might
that's
produce
amazing and
life.
exciting.
Yes. Yeah.
You're about to be a
Um,
portal, girl.
I know. It just really these changes feel very just like a chapters ending,
Mm-hmm.
literally mothering coming to
Yeah.
the forefront and real priority. And I've even started to notice that with like my day to day, like, how I'm choosing to spend my time or, what I'm doing in that time. It's
You're
starting to align
prioritizing.
more. Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
just a few changes happening in our land.
Getting married, starting a family, moving. I mean, those are like the
Yeah.
American
Yeah.
3
David
check
started a new
marks.
job on Monday.
Oh,
Yeah. We're just
yeah.
ticking off all the boxes.
Yeah. How is David? Hi,
He's
David.
great. He's great. He's
Yeah,
loving the
good.
change. Yeah. It's
Oh, I
wonderful.
love to hear that.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's
Oh,
good.
that's so cool.
It is.
Yeah, and we're gonna be moving too,
Yeah.
end of July, but we're very TBD on where that what's happening there. So
We can
I'll
talk about
share
how
that
you're
up.
mothering yourself in that
Yes, like
instance.
very, very clueless where we're going next. Yeah, I mean, just clueless. I don't have, I want to try to give some context, but we are just surrendering in that area of life. But
Yeah.
yeah, that's a big piece of this puzzle where it's like, it's exciting. Like I
Mhm.
love change. I'm like,
Yeah.
I really enjoy it.
Have
I
you
always
always felt that
loved,
way?
hmm
Oh, okay.
like it's always been a very, I feel like it is that like Cancer energy though. Like I'm a Cancer
Oh,
sign. My
yeah.
birthday's coming up.
Yay.
Just a little
Happy
plug for
birthday.
myself. um,
Absolutely.
but I think it's like I love seeing I love the unknown of like how can I carry myself through this? Like when I think back to childhood and school, the start of the year and the ending of the year. I mean, the end of a school year, or, when I graduated high school or when I finished college, it was always like May, June, and it was this time of year.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just like how our
Yep.
society is set up that like there's a lot of change happening right now. And I think it was always like a little bit like nerve-wracking, like any change is, but like I felt that motherly Cancer energy like rising in me during change and
Mm-hmm.
during those times of like, oh, we got this. This is exciting, honey. Like I feel like I've
Yep.
always kind of carried that frequency.
Yep.
Um, and yeah, now it's just like doing it even more through like adult change
Right.
because it's
Right.
even less clear what's
Yes.
next because
Yes.
I'm more in control.
Yeah. But I think at that core, it's like, like you said, like, you got this, right? So you
Mhm.
already have that foundation of like, okay, I got this. And now I
Yeah.
can lean into this energy to really support myself through whatever presents itself.
Yeah. Yeah, that's like a good reminder, I feel like, for anyone listening. And for me, I'm
Hmm.
taking that in. Like,
Hmm.
you got this. Like, you
You
have no
do.
idea where you're going to be living in 2 months. And that's a choice. That's like a personal
Yeah,
choice. So, like,
sure.
I'm self sovereign in that decision, like both Nick and I. And we're choosing to surrender to this next chapter. Like, we're really surrendering and leaning in. Um, but it's like, it can be intimidating.
Yes,
So
yes,
bringing
yes.
in that motherly archetype is kind of what's carrying us through
Yeah,
this
absolutely.
experience.
And what
Um,
would you say that motherly energy
I was just gonna
feels
say,
like for you?
oh, for me, I mean, feels very like highest self. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I feel my highest self like coming through and
Mm,
saying, girl, you're good. You're
yeah,
good. I got you. You got you. And it's also this sense of like grounding and like coming back to the body for me.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Like when I
Totally.
think of the mother, I think of like being a child. And when I was a child, I was way more in my body.
Yes. Yes.
But
Absolutely.
when you said that, I thought that's what you were going to bring up. I want to
Yeah.
just talk about the high and low, like frequencies of the mother archetype, because if you're not familiar with working with archetypes, and this is a new concept for you, there's a lot of resources. One of the books that you have this one now,
I
right?
do. Yeah.
One of the oracle decks that we love is by Kim Kranz, the Archetypes Guidebook, The Wild Unknown. And I mean, if you're watching on YouTube, there are these fun little
Oh,
cards,
it's
little
the
circles. Love
I love
these.
the whole experience of it.
Yeah, and I love bringing archetypes in, like, especially when there is this new season of change. Like, when you're in that
Yeah.
liminal space and you're like, I don't know what to grab on, like, physically in the material plane, I don't know what my identity is. If you don't know what your job's going to be in 3 months, if you don't know where you're going to be living, all these things, archetypes can be something that you like ground into to say, like, I have all of these things within me. I'm going to embody this energy to carry me through. So I mean, there's better descriptions of archetypes out there, but I'm not here to coach you on that. But this deck has all of the archetypes outlined, and the mother is actually the first one, which is like me and Jess pulled this up. And we're like, oh,
That's
like
so
duh.
nice. Yes.
It starts with that motherly energy and being that
Yes.
portal.
Yes.
And when the mother is in light, when the mother archetype is in light, it's glowing, generative, creative, and nurturing, which is kind of what we described, I
Yeah.
would say.
Yeah.
But when in the dark, or possibly when it's not present, you might feel dim, exhausted, controlling, or limiting.
Ooh. Mm.
Do those
Yeah.
land?
Yep. I love the control call out because you were even saying to loosen
Yeah,
the
like
grip.
that grip. Yeah.
Hmm. Hmm.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And I'm sure like everyone listening is like, oh, yes, yes, yes. I know those
Yeah.
energies.
Yeah. So we talked about our change that's happening.
Yeah.
How do we embrace this mother archetype? How are you actually embracing this? And maybe even if you're not doing it intentionally, like, where does this frequency show up of nurturing, creative, just holding yourself in,
Yeah.
let's say, the way that you're looking at life right now?
Yeah. Okay.
How,
Well,
like, go ahead.
yeah. One like really simple way is like I have a nice warm beverage right now. And I'm like,
You said
even
warm.
but when I texted or messaged you this morning, I was like, I need to make a beverage first before I come on here because
Mhm.
it's so grounding. It's like warm and nourishing and like it like allows me like, okay, here's the space. Like here
Mhm.
I am here. I have what I need. But it's like it's such a little thing.
Yeah,
But
and you're saying like two things that I'm hearing is like, how do we nurture our body, which is
yeah.
what you're doing, that warm beverage.
Hmm.
So, how do you create a nurturing environment? Because it's also a
Yes.
part of the experience of us recording right now. Um,
Absolutely.
so in what other ways are you doing that, would you
Yeah.
say? Or
Yes.
you need to do it?
Yeah. List all the things. Okay, so a big one, and like, if you have a defined sacral, you are likely really, really gonna land with this. But it's daily movement. And it makes it very easy when it's sunny and blue skies out. So like I'm gonna like love up on like, okay, Mother Nature, like this is a great
Mhm.
ideal environment.
Mhm.
So daily movement. Now for me, I'm pretty flexible on when that happens. Like I really just, look at my day to day. Like yesterday it was more in the evening and I loved it. It was like a lovely kind of like turning certain phase off, enjoying the walk, coming home, having
Mhm.
dinner. Like it was just a very nice transition. But sometimes I like to do it earlier in the day or like for like kind of that afternoon break. If I like feel like creatively I've hit a wall, it allows that energy to move. But like I mean, literally walking is like one of my favorite activities. So that is just that like moving of energy just feels, I never regret going on a walk.
Yeah, and it sounds like that's your way of regulating your nervous system too.
Yes.
Because, like, I mean, that's
Yes.
really, I guess,
Hmm.
if we're talking scientifically, biologically, what
Sure.
like the mothering archetype does for us, right? Like
Yes.
when you think about being a kid, you were crying and upset about something, one would assume that the mother archetype, or, whoever that was in your life, whether it was
Mhm.
actually your mom or a caregiver or just somebody on the street,
Yeah. Yeah.
like you wanted that you wanted to stimulate your nervous system. You wanted to ground back in.
Yes.
That's
Yes.
really
Yes.
what this mothering archetype is doing for us and here to help
Yes.
us do. And it sounds like for generators, for sacral beings,
Yeah.
manifesting generators and sacral beings, like moving can help
Hmm.
regulate that
Absolutely.
that part of your being.
Yep.
Where
Yep.
as like a projector, as much as like movement does feel good, like a walk doesn't kill me, right? Like I
Right. Oh, absolutely.
but I feel like for me it's like it's rest, and it's especially mental rest.
Yeah.
Um for me, because I feel like, I mean, also it's probably just like my open head.
Sure.
But I feel like when I am going through change and experiencing like I mean, there's so much high, like for me when I'm going through change, like I'm like excited, it's abundance, I'm creative,
Mm-hmm.
I am in those like frequencies. It's not like I'm like in a super toxic place right now, but
Yeah.
even being in those high frequencies of change, I need like a mother,
Yep.
myself, to tell me like, Jenna, enough is
Mm-hmm.
enough. Open
Yes.
sacral. Like
Yep.
you've you overworked the brain, your emotions are all over the place. Like it's time to like come back,
Yeah.
relax, stretch, slow down,
Yes.
rest.
Yes.
That's really the mothering that I need to do for the body. And I spoke
Yeah.
about that yesterday on Instagram.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely.
Like literally 4 o'clock came around and I did so many things.
Mm-hmm.
I was, creative agency hat. I was painter hat
Yeah.
was on.
Yeah.
Friend. We hung out.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
ran errands, like I just like all of these hats. And I mean, I know a lot of our listeners wear a lot of hats too. But at four
Sure.
o'clock, I was like, oh my gosh, I could either push through and finish the day,
Yep.
force myself, which would not be very motherly, or
Yep.
I could like crash and shut down. So like fight or flight, I could just go lay on the couch and be like, I'm done.
Right.
I can't
Right.
do this. But
Yep.
that's also not very motherly
Right.
towards
Mm-mm.
myself, because I'm
Mm-hmm.
not giving myself what I need. So I needed to get outside in Mother Nature. And that's
Yes.
something that you said, Mother
Yeah.
Nature, the
Yes.
environment of trees,
Mm-hmm.
sunshine,
It's so good.
feet in the grass.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
That's what your mother
Absolutely.
would tell you to do. Go play outside.
Right. Right. It is. I mean, and I think really that call out of like it regulating your nervous system. I mean, that is the core function of
Mm-hmm.
this energy. And man, is it hard to regulate your nervous system in this day and
Yeah.
age? Like
Yeah,
it's really important. And like
for sure.
we don't really talk about that a ton.
Yeah. I mean, I think there's like we're talking a lot about the day-to-day elements that we can invite in and bring in like I
Yep.
said, holding your body and creating a nurturing environment. But yeah, I mean, there's also this kind of deeper level of like reparenting. Like if you're someone
Sure.
who and I don't think either of us feel this super deeply when it comes to change. Like I said, I love change. I enjoy it. So
Mm-hmm.
I had some regulation in my childhood and things.
Sure.
But if you're someone who's very overwhelmed with change, there's also this invitation on this episode to not just mother yourself, but reparent yourself.
Sure.
Not because our parents and our caregivers didn't do a great job, but it was a different day and age
Yep.
when we were born and when we were children, and when our brains were developing and our patterns were developing. We didn't have
Mhm.
social media. Like the stimulation
Yeah.
was way down compared to where it is now in our day-to-day lives. And so our
Mhm.
bodies weren't trained at our core to be able to naturally regulate themselves in this type of environment. We are fight or flight.
Mhm.
We are in the fight or flight or shutdown in so many moments in our lives. Yesterday being an example for me of like,
You're right.
what am I doing?
Yeah.
And we have to take these moments to be like, what if I was my own mother, what would I invite myself to do right now?
Yes.
How could
Such a
I
good call out.
encourage myself?
Yes. Yes. And even like, how can I simplify this? Right?
Mhm.
Like, it can get so complicated. Like, let's just bring back more of that ease because
Mhm.
that is the mother energy. Like, that is
Yeah.
mother nature, right? Like, it's all going to balance out. So just allowing that to
Oh,
what can be taken off? What could you ask for help with? What can just literally disappear and not be a part of your life? Like just
yeah.
simplify, I feel like is another angle of that.
I love that. And my brain just split into like three paths. I don't think these are just little nuggets of what you said. Like simplifying, I first, when you said that, I was like, that's what that's what I wanted my mom to do for me. Like when I think of like,
Ah.
if my mom still took care of me right now, like when you call your mom and you're stressed out,
Yes.
you just want her to be like, it's fine. Let
Mm-hmm.
it go. Like that simplification, like
Yes.
that's what you wanted for, I feel like organically as a
Sure.
child and
Sure.
even still as an adult, you just want your mom to like, just make it easier, simplify
Yeah.
it.
Come on,
Uh,
mom.
so that lands. And then also Mother Nature. So
Yeah.
simple. She just does what she does. She trusts that the next season's going to come. She trusts that when things die, they're not
Yeah.
dead forever. They're dead for a good reason. Like
Right.
she's so good at being a mother.
She is. She's the
Lean
best
in.
mother.
She is the mother.
She is the mother. She is. Yeah.
um so yeah, leaning into our environment and our surroundings when we're wanting to simplify. And then there was one more thing, but I'm
It,
tired today,
it'll
guys.
come back to you if it needs to.
This also, like, this stimulated from I was freaking Alex and ClickUp. Like Alex, as I'm a Notion girly.
You are,
Okay.
yes.
I'm just going on a little tangent. I'm a
It's
Notion
all
girly
good.
for project management systems. But on my new team, we're using ClickUp. And so last night I just
Yeah.
got on a kick, stayed up too late and transferred. This is very Cancer energy though. Like it's that
Oh,
nurturing.
okay.
Like I'm nurturing my projects. I want them to feel good coming into this new season.
Yeah.
So I stayed up too late and I transferred all of my projects over to a new system so they could all be in the same place. Um, and went to bed late. And then
Yep.
Nick is fighting a cold.
Yep.
So the man was coughing all night. So I went and slept. I took my little projector ass to sleep in the other room,
Yeah.
but very disjointed sleep. And I woke up this morning and I was like, how can I mother myself?
Yes. Yes, yes,
Like, what do
yes.
I need today?
And what did that look like this morning?
Moving very slow.
Yeah. Yeah, that rest.
Moving slow, not being on social media.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Like, again, like I said, I don't know if it's not just a projector thing, but I think it relates to projectors, like removing elements and stimuli
Yes.
out of my aura so that I can just be with myself. And I clearly didn't. And I don't think I did that enough because when we hopped on to talk, I was a little like, floaty.
Sure, sure. Well, and
Yeah.
even like another aspect that I'll really lean into, I would say more and more, is like food. And that was something I know you brought up as well yesterday on Instagram too. But like, that's like core nourishment, right? Like, that is literally how we're nourishing our biological being, like
Mm-hmm.
the cells in our body. So that is also another component, which, a couple episodes ago, I talked about meal planning. I ranted about all of that goodness, and how, there can be struggles with that too. But if you just simplify it and come back to your body and like, okay, what nourishment does it need?
Mm-hmm.
A
Such a
lot.
simple question.
Yeah, absolutely.
And again, I'm just going to keep saying this, but like that's what your mom did as a child. She fed you.
Yes.
So like we can sit
Yes.
here and say like what did your mom do or what did you need her to do as a child? And
Yeah.
how can you do that for yourself today?
Yes.
If you're overstimulated, stressed, going through change,
Yep.
adaptation. Um and what about like when it comes to work? I feel like
Mhm.
specifically, I mean, I just gave a great example, tooting my own horn. Um Organizing my projects. Like
Yep.
that's a very simple motherly energy that you can bring into your work of like, how can I get organized for this new season? How can I organize my projects? How can I clear and clean up my schedule? Clear and
Yes.
clean up my folders, my files. Like I'm talking very
Yes.
technically,
Yes.
but
Yes. Yes.
this mother archetype isn't just in the home. It's also in work.
Oh, yes. All encompassing. Absolutely. And another thing I would say, like work wise, would be that, like, I guess it's also like loosening that grip, because I'm thinking of that lower energy of like control.
Mhm.
Like, we have quote unquote control over our being, over our actions, over our reactions. But at work, that's usually interacting with other
Mhm.
beings in, whatever way. So it's also honoring like your side of the fence, right? Like that cleanup, that part, but also knowing like it's not your role to step over the fence. And you can even think about moms, your mom if that, in adolescence, teenage years, if you felt like, oh, she came over and stepped on my side of the fence, like
Mhm.
okay, now she's encroaching, or like, right, like that
Mhm.
never feels good either. So just really honoring, again, your being, your individuality, and not taking on the quote unquote control of the project or the whatever. Like, nope, what you're responsible for is like where your focus is. It doesn't need to encompass, this whole dramatic cascade of
Yeah.
other energies.
Yeah, it's like you're talking about that sweet spot, I feel like, in relationships where
Mm-hmm.
you're kind of trusting each other to show up
Mm-hmm.
and mother
Mm-hmm.
yourself. Like, I'm even
Yes.
thinking, like, as Nick and I are moving through a lot of change. I mean, I am individually, but he is as well. And I mean, we're in partnership, so we're going through it
Yeah.
together. And yeah, like, I know we were speaking about work, but even in romantic relationships
Sure.
or friendships, like, it's my job to just take care of myself and then surrender and trust and let go that
Yeah.
Nick can take care of himself. Like, obviously,
Right.
like, yeah, it's that, at some point the mother has to let go and trust as well.
Yes. Yes. Absolutely. But yeah, there can be ease, there can be simplification. I mean, this is just a time of year for everyone, no matter your circumstance, that there's going to be some kind of transition or change or schedule is
Mhm.
being altered. Um, so yeah, how can you go into that with that groundedness?
Mhm.
Um, that just the mother archetype can really, really
Mhm.
lend.
Yeah. Where have
Mhm.
you maybe failed at mothering yourself?
I mean, that that happens often.
I just
Where
want to give people, like, I
there
feel
could
like
be
we're very like,
adjustments.
yeah, I feel like we're very like cozy and like, because
Yeah.
we're in it like right now. Like,
Yes.
we're in the mothering archetype.
Yes.
We might sound like we're just nurturing each other and you, hopefully. I hope that's what this
Oh,
feels
yeah.
like.
That's nice.
And an invitation for you to come
Yes.
into this frequency with us,
Yes.
because we're like very much in the middle of the
Mhm.
chaos
Mhm.
and doing our work and taking responsibility to hold ourselves.
Yes.
So that's kind of where this like that's the perspective that we're speaking from right now.
Absolutely.
But there have been times in our lives where we have not been great at this.
Oh, yeah.
And so I want to kind of maybe give some context there so that, like, if this isn't landing or you're like, I don't even know how to get there. Um,
Yeah.
I would say for me, I like in honestly in entrepreneurship, there was
Yes.
so much like pushing, like freaking Mean
Yeah.
Girls. Like, I'm a pusher, Katie. I push people. You know that quote? Don't
No,
tell me
of
you don't
course
know.
I don't. No.
Oh
I
my
won't know any quote on anything. That's just not, I got an open head in
mean,
Ajna.
like Mean Girls though. Like,
I know Mean Girls, but I'm not going to remember any quotes from them. I
oh
know. I
my
know.
God, I just want everybody who's listening and just let's all just have a moment of disappointment for Jessica right now. Like, I'm
I feel
sorry.
so much judgment from everyone right now.
I love you. I love all
I'll
all that you
watch Mean
are and all
Girls
that
with
you're not.
you.
What?
I'll watch Mean Girls with you.
Okay, okay.
Yeah, yeah.
It's when the teacher pushes Katie Heron, I think is her name. She's like, I'm a pusher, Katie. I push people. And then she put that
Oh.
she was a pusher in the burn book.
Oh. Okay.
And she was like, she's probably a drug pusher. Everybody who is listening knows what I'm talking about,
They
even
do.
you
Literally
wrote.
everyone but me. Yes.
Okay, anyways, I don't even
Story of
remember
my
why I
life.
was saying that. Oh, in work. So in
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
entrepreneurship, like, that's how I feel like I was for
Mhm.
quite a few years. It was like I was trying
Yeah.
to push something forward. And when I
Yes.
think about if a mother is very pushy on their child, pushing them to,
Yeah.
get A's, pushing them to do
Sure.
well in sports, just that, like, it can be encouragement. Encouragement is lovely.
Yes.
But I would cross over, I feel like, into that like pushy mom.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And like,
Yes.
it served me in absolutely no way.
Right? No. Yes.
Like,
Yes.
I benefited nothing from pushing myself.
Yeah. I'd say mine would be more the helicopter mom. That would be the persona of like even moving. Like if it would be like micromanaging,
Mhm.
like David, or okay, well, we got to do this. We got to do this because then this is happening. Like it would be in that energy. And he's very grounding for me and be like, it's all getting done.
Mhm.
Like, what can I take? Like one thing he would say a lot is what's something I can take off your plate and
Aw.
just trust, like I will do it.
Yeah.
Because there was just a lot. There was a lot of things moving and grooving. But I would say that's like my low expression default is more like that helicopter mom, that controlling type energy.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And it's funny, I don't know, like, I feel like it aligns to my energy type. Like, when you were saying helicopter, I'm like, "Ooh, pushing is like pushing the projector."
Yes. Yes.
You
Yes.
know, like
Right.
pushing without invitation,
Right. Oof. Yeah.
pushing myself past my sacral energetic limit, pushing
Yep.
myself past the work I was able to do and being like, "No, do more. You got this." Just like a lot of that force energy.
Yeah.
And I feel like as a generator, that helicopter-ness
Mm-hmm.
could land. I don't know. I want you to kind of speak to
Yeah.
that, but I feel like that's very like I can do it all.
Yeah. Right. Yes. Yes.
So
Absolutely.
like not letting go, like being like, no,
Right.
I have the energy to do it. I'm going to do all the things.
Right. Yes.
So I
Yeah.
think this is an invitation to really like if you're feeling any of these frequencies, right? You're in the mother archetype is missing in action from your life
Yeah.
and you're in this time of change, in this season of change. Ground back to your energy type and like
Yes.
what is that strategy there?
Yep. Yep.
How are you really meant to navigate life and navigate change
Yeah. Absolutely.
and use that to help yourself surrender into it?
Yeah. Yeah. It can be
Mhm.
easy. There's lots of transitions, but it can
Mhm.
be an enjoyable process.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anything else that's coming up? I feel like we're just so cozy today.
I know we are. I think I'm good. I think that's a good
Yeah.
it's a great reminder for
Mhm.
myself. And this is one of those like, these can be like micro moments, right? If
Mhm.
you're, especially if like you can tap back into that not self theme. If for me, if I'm feeling frustrated, I can be like, okay,
Mhm.
what do I need right now? Like,
Yeah.
just a little moment of that, or like, you can set up your day in a way
Mhm.
where it's mothering and nurturing to give yourself that added support when it's
Yeah.
needed.
Yeah, the mother comes and goes and,
Mm-hmm.
you have to remind yourself every day. You create that
Yeah.
body experience environment, but also if none of this is landing, there's also an invitation to kind of go back in and reparent yourself
Oh,
and your
sure.
beliefs around change, around your role and how you can show up in this life. Um, but also I would say like just some fun, like tangible things right now to help remind you of that mother archetype. Like what
Mm.
when you think of the mother, like maybe it's an animal like that
Sure.
we said, maybe it's a place or a something. Like
Yes.
set that as your phone screen background.
Totally.
Just like
Totally.
these little things, like maybe even put a picture of you as a mom or of your mother or of something on your refrigerator to help remind yourself to like
Yep.
nourish and feed yourself like a good mother would.
Yeah.
Even like I was holding my um rose quartz crystal,
Sure.
like this is love, this is nurturing. Like how
Yep.
can you bring those little tangible elements into your life as we're moving into Cancer season? Um and as maybe the external world is very chaotic for us during
Sure.
this like shift of
Yes.
seasons. Spring,
Yes.
summer is very, I mean, it's springy, it's sunny, it's exciting, it's
Yep.
bouncy.
Yep.
But it's also a time to love on yourself.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I love that. Yes. There's lots of ways. And I would love to hear from like everyone like what lands,
Mhm,
what you're going to focus on.
mhm.
Definitely like Instagram's going to be the easiest way to reach out to us at While You Wait podcast. But yeah, I would love to see kind of like what came up and like what's kind of going to ground you in that mothering energy.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm excited to hear. And today, let's see, how am I going to mother myself? As we're like ending, I'm like, oh
Yep.
yeah, I need to ground into this. I think I'm gonna sit in the sun and I'm hungry, so I'm gonna make myself a
Me
nice
too.
meal. And I
Yes.
think I'm just gonna move slow.
Yeah.
Like I just need to move slower today.
Yep.
And
Absolutely.
that is motherly and loving towards myself. How are you gonna mother yourself today?
Definitely food. I'm also hungry, so I'm like, excited to make a meal. And for sure, I'm gonna do a walk, and it's likely gonna be midday
Mm.
because I got some projects to focus on, but I got two of them, so I'm gonna do one. Then I'm gonna go for a walk, and then I'm gonna do the
Oh,
other one.
creating
So,
space.
yep. Already have that vision for the day, and I mean, and I'll just pop outside, get a little sunshine whenever it's
Mm.
needed.
Yes.
Yeah.
So everybody use this as an invitation to go
Yes.
mother yourself today. Mother
Mm-hmm.
yourself in this season. You are your best mother. Our mothers are all lovely and wonderful, but we're adulting now. So we
We
have
are.
to remember to take care of ourselves first.
Yes, absolutely.
All right. Have a good day, everyone.
Bye, everyone.